a lot of things going on that were not on my bingo card, including Kenny Pickett being traded to the Eagles. We'll talk about it. I'm a little, I think that would be one of the last moves I would have expected. Like, that wouldn't have been it, but you're joining me. You're back. This is your second time on the show. Last time you were on the show.
My third time.
It is third time already. Well, one of the times you were very QB1 DeVito. We'll talk about your new QB1. If you don't know Nicky the Good, ultimate super dad, host of the Meat Pop Express podcast, former Barstool employee, but laid off, not fired. There's a very
correct. That is very, very correct. You fired people that get fired, they stink. I don't stink. I'm very good. So laid off, not fired. That's the deal.
And that's another thing we have in common, because Ryan and I do this show because we both got laid off as well. So we have not only our Giants fandom, which is hard these last couple of days, but free agency. Biggest surprise, favorite move, anything changed for you? I know you play fantasy football.
Yeah. Well, I mean, for me, it's 100% Kirk Cousins, because I have in Dynasty, I have Drake London, I have John. Drake London is an absolute monster. He can be an absolute monster, but not with that carousel of absolute bums that they had. Now they have Cousins. We're going to be chucking. We're going to have games where we're behind. I'm going to get those garbage points. And maybe Bijan actually has a scheme where he could thrive in. So I'm ecstatic about that move from a fantasy football standpoint.
Pickett's might get some freaking targets.
I mean, listen. I mean, I'm very happy with the way everything is landing for the most part. I think NFL free agency has just become the best. It used to be for me baseball, where baseball was crazy, and now not so much. Now the NFL has come in and there's so much movement. It's like every single day, it's like winter hot stove for baseball. It's great because it's like a season before a season. That's what you love about the off season, is when the fireworks start.
Yeah. We'll get into our New York Giants. Are you okay if we do a new segment?
Sure, let's go.
We're gonna try one out here. It's going to be wrong answers only. So producer Ryan's going to throw a picture up, and you're going to tell me the occupation of this person. Has to be
ready
wrong.
to go? I can go right away.
Let's hear it.
Professional wrestler.
You love it. It's so on brand for you.
Yes.
He reminds me of, there's a lot of these white rappers in Detroit, Michigan. So it's kind of giving Detroit, Michigan rapper for me.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, John Cena, 16-time WWE champion, he actually was a white rapper. That was his gimmick before he became, what he is known as today. And he used to wear like a big silver chain to the ring. So this is, that's why they went right to my head. White meat baby face right here. Kirk Cousins, great guy, just like looking like a white rapper.
Were you surprised at all by the amount of money that they gave Kirk? Because he is coming off of that Achilles.
If you can give Daniel Jones, that absolute bum, that overrated loser, $40 million to stink and have zero pocket awareness, you can absolutely give Kirk Cousins as much money as he possibly wants.
Oh, God. And we'll get into those New York Giants. Let's get the next picture up here.
Occupation. Wow.
Who is this person?
That is Jersey Jerry. That is Jersey Jerry from Barstool. Big feet guy. Just had Arch Madness. Huge success. Poor Carlita. She didn't pull it home, the victory. But that is Jersey Jerry right now. You got the beard there, right? We're eyeing up the big toe, right? The big toe is not as big as what? The index one or the pointer, right?
The pointer, he's got princess feet because the long.
Feet.
Yeah.
I can't tell about the arch because of the photo that I'm given. I think that is Jersey Jerry. Yes.
Yeah, I think that is the next vice president of the United States of America. Apparently going to be running. At this point, with the amount of stuff going on, nothing shocks me anymore.
No, you can't have people that are really into politics, be president. You need celebrity. You need ratings.
Yeah. I actually like the move to keep Tyrod in New York. I think Tyrod went to the Jets. Yes. I liked that move quite a bit. Other than that, Jets have been a little bit quiet. They did get some O-line help. I'll be interested to see what they do in the draft. Probably will look at wide receiver, but let's get the next picture up here.
Oh, man.
What's going on in this pick here? What's going on here?
It's the occupations that I'm going with?
You could do occupations. You could name that album. We could make this an album, but I just need a wrong answer.
This album is Dookie, because on the right-hand side, Dookie from Green Day, which means dog shit, which was what Saquon Barkley produced the last few years when he was a Giant.
Yeah. I'm going to call this album Unloyal.
There we go.
That's what I'm doing. I'm doing it. Yeah, Saquon to the Eagles stung a little bit. But hear me out. And I feel like the Giants fans aren't going to like this because the last 6 years we've had one guy that's, made games at least fun to watch most of the time. But the Giants were so forced to focus the entire offense. It just ran through Saquon. If Saquon wasn't there, disaster. It's going to force them to have to start moving the ball around, passing. Hopefully, I would love to see us pass the ball a little bit.
Wouldn't that be something? Wouldn't that be something to have an offense where you don't have the most predictable scheme in all of the NFL because you only have one guy on the field? And listen, I'm halfway joking my thing with Saquon. Listen, the guy had injuries. You can't control those, although I think there was maybe one play where he just did not have to try and get a yard because the game was done and he ended up getting another high ankle sprain. But listen, Saquon Barkley could have been an all-time Giant. The Giants drafted him at the wrong time. It was wrong time, wrong place. They thought that they had a bunch of fool's gold, and for some reason they thought that he was a missing piece in what we needed. It wasn't. If anything, we did wrong by Saquon by even drafting him in the first place. We weren't built to bring in a running back of that caliber. And yes, he was touched by the hands of God as the great, who as he said in that famous press conference. But listen, I don't hate Saquon Barkley. Going to the Eagles is a little interesting if you want to be considered a Giant, because a true Giant would not do that. But, listen, I'm excited. I'm so excited now for this Giants season. Even if it's another season where we have to take it on the chin and not be good, based on the moves that they've done, that they're finally building an actual team instead of hey, if Saquon plays 16 games and has an all-world year, we can compete. I don't want that anymore. I want sound football with an actual plan.
Yeah, and I think a lot of fans are having a hard time realizing, when Joe Shane took on this team, he was taking on, he's still, washing his hands clean of Dave Gettleman blood. It stained our franchise. I mean, I will say Dave Gettleman he drafted some of our best players that we have on the team. It's not a long list, let's be very clear, but it's nice to see Joe Shane, I'm starting to see his vision, and it was hard at first because you're this is really frustrating. Everyone else, look at the Texans. Look how quick they can rebuild. We're never going to be that team, though. So I'm interested to see how this draft goes. And I'm just learning to be patient. We drafted OBJ 10 years ago. I mean, we have not had a wide receiver one. We haven't had a 1,000-yard receiver in 10 years. That's a really...
These guys aren't even drafted. Some of these guys, no one even knows who they are, and they just burst on the scene, and then we put the New York Giants, fairy dust on them because everyone, the Darius Slayton. I love Slayton, but Slayton is not, you cannot depend on him to get you to compete with the teams in our division, let alone the rest of the NFL. You need killer, and we don't have that.
I mean, I don't even remember. I'm trying to think of, I think the last really good game of Giants football that I saw was that playoff game against Minnesota. That's the last good game that we saw. And it was a game where the O-line was playing well. It's a game where they were airing it out. It's a game where they were playing complementary football. We haven't seen that in a really long time. So I'm excited to see what direction they go.
Last thing I'll say on that is it's enjoyable to watch because the team, you feel that you could believe in the team. When you're watching, the Giants have had other games where they've played well, but when you stink, when you know what you are, it's very difficult to even appreciate a good game because it doesn't matter. None of it matters. The only what matters is right now. Saquon is gone. I hate saying he was a distraction. It is what it is, man. We had to move on. Same thing with the other guy we'll probably talk about at some point. You got to move on. Things are in the right direction. We got Drew Lock. The future is bright.
Yeah, and one of the what the fuck tweets that we're going to do in a second here, we will talk about the Tiki Saquon thing. I don't like the way Saquon left.
No,
and I have thoughts on that, but we'll take up the next picture. Almost done with these here. What do we got? What's this guy's occupation here?
Either what is that? What is that? That skit in Vegas, the Men Down Under.
Like oh my gosh, what's it called?
It's like a striptease.
Chippendales? Is it Chippendales? No.
I think it might be the Men Down Under. I'm not sure, but yeah.
Okay.
It's like Vegas like
a male stripper. He's like a bottle boy almost here. I think Rye's gonna pop up.
You're looking for Thunder from Down Under.
Yes, that is
Thunder from Down Under. Producer Ryan, what do you think about this picture? Interested on your take here.
I think he looks like a door-to-door crop top salesman.
He's giving it's giving like divorced, like freshly divorced uncle. I feel like, working out, maybe taking a little bit too much creatine. Interesting to see. I will say one of the least moving things during free agency, him going to Washington, like, does nothing for me.
No, I mean, like, career might as well be over. Like, that's it.
Yeah, exactly. I think we have one more left, and then we'll do some of these what the fuck bro tweets, because what does this guy do? Ew, you can hear the picture almost, but what does he do?
He literally, I don't know if you're familiar with Tony Khan. He actually owns AEW. Russ literally looks like him. He's also a co-owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. So he's the son of the Jaguars owner. That's this guy. But this guy, he is an aspiring barista in Williamsburg, Brooklyn.
I was gonna say barista. He does look like a barista. The coffee shop that he owns is like every single drink is named after him somehow.
And they're $14. And they're $14 drinks.
Yeah.
And they come with some sort of like political view. Like you choose your
it's one of those, like, it's definitely on the West Coast because you're not getting out of there without having a full. When I first moved to Arizona, one of the most annoying things, God bless everyone from the West Coast, love you guys, but like we don't need to talk. I just want my fucking coffee. Like I'm just trying to go. I'm here because I want my coffee. I want to get out of here. But I think Russ got done a little dirty. It's kind of on brand for Sean Payton. Like, I don't know that it was like super shocking there, but we'll see what he does. And the Steelers I can't believe they traded Kenny Pickett.
Listen, I think the Steelers can always compete.
Always.
If you surround Russ, I'm still hopeful. I like when Russ is good because he's become such a parody and such a like meme at this point.
Yeah.
That when he's good, the media that comes out of it is great. Like, even like, I think you highlighted it, even the video he made just getting his haircut, like that's stuff that anyone else does that. And it's just a normal thing, but he does it. It's a legitimate meme. The guy is a walking sense of awkwardness, but I do think if he's given the right offense, there's still enough in him. If he doesn't have to run around, maybe he can compete. I mean, the Pittsburgh Steelers always win. They always win. So why not with Russ? I think Russ is better than Pickett. He's better than Rudolph. I still think, at least for another year.
Yeah.
So I'm digging him on the Steelers. I like it.
And it's so cheap. I'm never going to say I'm back in on Russ. I'm not back in on Russ. Me and Russ have our own. He's not my sworn enemies list, but I'm not a huge fan of him. But I mean, the least amount of passing yards he had was last season. He's never gone under like 3,100 Like he's still a good quarterback. He's still above league average. I know I said it when Jason was on, but like you're taking Wilson over Tannehill every day. You're taking Russ over a lot of the guys in the league.
Look at what they're paying him. That's all that matters. That's it.
Well, exactly.
What the Steelers are paying Russ, I think that's a monster win if you're just looking to compete and to see if you can make a run. That's it.
I will say the personality combination in the locker room of Russ, George Pickens, Arthur Smith, and Tomlin, that is like a nightmare blunt rotation.
But I will say this,
that's a fucking nightmare.
I will say this though. When Russ went to the Broncos, he went there for it to be his team. This is not that situation. He was Bronco country. Let's ride. dip off into the sunset on the press conference, all cool. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
this is not that. You are not the leader of this team. You're coming in to play quarterback. And the Steelers are a winning organization. You are not here to save jack shit. You're here to win some football games. So
and kind of redeem yourself a little bit. As much as he's confident, like, you can be the most confident person in the world. Like, that was an ego hit. Whether he wants to be Mr. Unlimited and act like it or not, like, it's still a little bit of an ego hit.
100%. Absolutely. He went Hollywood. He went Hollywood on us.
Yeah. All right, let's get some of these what the fuck bro tweets from this week. What do we got first here, Rye? All right, perfect. Let's talk about it. I think first I will say, I'm not going to defend Tiki here, but I will say I went back and listened to the whole thing. I don't think it came from a place of like ill intent. I think if you understand this rivalry, I mean, it's fucked up, right? He went to the fucking Eagles. Like, let's be serious. Let's call it what it is. It's interesting, though, because I went through Tiki. First of all, if you don't know Tiki's history with the Giants, he is not the most beloved Giant. He went out a bad way, saying tons of stuff about Eli, and there's one thing you don't fuck with when it comes to us. You don't fuck with Eli Manning. So in a lot of people's eyes, like, he wants to talk about dead to me. Like, Tiki, you've been low-key dead to a lot of us for a long time. And I think that Saquon, though, his response being like, at Tiki, you've been a hater since I got to New York, and all the dead to me talk. First of all, these guys need to learn punctuation, because the comma, you got to put a comma somewhere in this. There's got to be a comma at
and
some
you got to
point.
put the period in front of Tiki Barber, because as we know on Twitter, that's just the replies.
Which is interesting. And he said, don't smile my face when you see me. I went through, and I think Tiki, first of all, Saquon deleted all of these. And I went to Tiki, and Tiki went to his Twitter and deleted everything up into his tweet where he congratulated Saquon on winning, or like being nominated for the Walter Payton Award. I think it was taken out of context, but I think Saquon's like, thank you, whatever. It was a pathetic way to go out. It was not, I want to always be a Giant, bullshit. Like, just say thank you, you appreciate us, and go.
Here's the deal. This is the way I look at it. Number one, I think Tiki won this, because Saquon, you had the entire higher ground. Mm-hmm. You went to the Eagles. Listen, they offered you what, the most money? Okay, like, you got to get paid. You're a running back. Like, I understand. Like, fine. That's, first of all, you don't go to the Eagles. That's number one. But you did get the most money from there. Running backs are getting, the shaft when it comes to that. I understand it.
Yeah.
This is what Tiki did. Tiki Barber is in the media. Tiki Barber also, that he hates the fact that Giant fans do not love him as much as we should, based on what he did for this team. This was his shot.
He's been trying to kiss our ass for a while. Let's be honest.
It was the other guy who was supposed to be the generational face of the franchise running back in Saquon Barkley. And he, a running back who was never on the field, constantly hurt, underachieving, whether that was his fault or the fact that the team was just trash.
Yeah.
He leaves and goes to the sworn enemy, not even the Cowboys. I'd say this is worse. The Eagles are worse to me. He goes to the Eagles. This is Tiki's one shot to take the Giants franchise back just a little bit for him. And I think that's exactly what he did there. He's like, this is my chance. He laid it up to me, and I have to say something. I'm the former Giants running back that everyone said I went out bad. This dude is going to the sworn enemy, still someone in his prime, where he can literally shove it down our throats twice a year. So that's what I think happened there. Tiki Barber, a little pro wrestling for Tiki Barber. That's what he did there. I think he won it. Them deleting the tweets, they both lose. They're both losers. You both got no spot.
Yeah. Like, I don't get down with these like dick measuring contests on Twitter. Like, that's the only thing I can come up with. Best way to describe it. I won't perseverate on it. But again, where I kind of knew this was going to happen, which is why Saquon's Penn State jersey. It's not his Giants jersey. Like, I knew that this was going to happen. But you went somewhere that I cannot root for you, and it's not even just when we play you. It's on a weekly fucking basis, and it sucks, to be honest.
It does. It does. I mean, it's going to be something where it's going to take at least like I would say a year, like for it to really sink in. Like when you see him in that disgusting trash green.
He doesn't look good in it either.
No, he doesn't look good in it, man. He looks evil in it. Like even Swift fit Swift fit the Eagles.
Yeah.
Brand, you know, like he looked like an Eagle. And I just was, and also, man, like, guess what, Eagles? You didn't need Saquon. So joke's on you. I bet you'd rather the guy we got on the edge than having Saquon because you didn't need a running back like Saquon. I don't think they needed him in that offense. I mean, your best play is literally just not using your running back. Like you need someone else to push Jalen.
Howie also never paid. It was very intentional. Throw Howie Roseman in prison. I don't care. I'm sick of that guy. We'll get off the Giants for a little bit. It'll probably come up again. What's the next What the Fuck Bro tweet of the week? What one? Oh, Skip Bayless, who I actually have blocked because I just hate seeing his shit. He is so unbearable. All in, comma, my ass. The amount of people I saw taking the comma out. So I'm proud of him for using the comma. But Skip Bayless finds ways to just make himself look like an idiot all the time.
Does he though? Or did he know that this is the type of publicity he gets?
He thinks he's the main character and he's not.
I mean, he tries to dress and act like a villain, like in a movie. So I think Skip Bayless is one of the most calculated people in like all of media because he says stuff that is just so outlandishly nuts.
Yeah.
But for some reason, there's some level of society that takes him somewhat seriously. To me, I think he knows both meanings of those. I think he knows that it's going to pick up double the traction as if he writes it the way he does, because it also makes sense what he's saying. The comment makes sense for who he roots for and what they did not.
Well, do. I mean, Jesus, there's a bunch of alleged stuff going on. They're not making a single move. Congratulations, Jerry Jones. What you meant by "it's our year" is he won the case against the alleged daughter. Like, I don't know what they're doing over there. It feels very like spiraling. They didn't even want to pay, what was it, Zach Moss $4 million. I don't
bad news, man.
It's bad
news. It's bad news. Listen, I've been a fan of a lot of bad teams, and you can sniff it out. You can smell bad news, bad vibes, and it's coming off the Cowboy camp. If you're a Cowboy fan, you put that face on, man. You put that clown nose on right now because you're in for a long season. Yeah,
and Tuck that comes on this show, I've been seeing a lot of discourse like, there's some Cowboys fans really fucking sick and tired. You get bent over by the Packers like that at home, and it's going to frustrate people. What's the next What the Fuck Bro tweet we've got? Bussin' with the boys. They reposted it. Calvin Ridley got a motherfucking bag. He said, I'm 29 on paper, but I'm probably like 25 for real. What the fuck does that mean? And what age are you for real? Like, this guy, I love him because he's a degenerate. Like, I'm all for let him gamble. I don't give a fuck.
I don't even know what he was really trying to say. I was just as confused.
I don't think he knows.
No, I think he thinks it sounded cooler than it like actually meant. One of those deals. Like you could have come up with something way slicker to say in that moment, and that's what he chose. I think it's someone who kind of like, listen, he knows what he's doing. He's got the bag. He's on cloud nine, and he's also got that like, listen, I was out for a while. People know I'm still the guy, but listen, he's got to show out now because he had his comeback year, and everyone's like, oh look, he still's got it. Let's put him in a good situation. But now, don't know what's going on over there in Tennessee, whatever.
Yeah.
He can look like a real big asshole, like if he sucks this year. That's all I'll say. But listen, he's rich, whatever. He's what he.
Yeah, I always joke like we know how old I am. I don't like saying it out loud. But I identify as like 25. I would say. I think it's your COVID age too, because in my head the math is that you get back like the 3 years.
I believe that.
Thing. Like my brain is still at like 26.
There are people that like they aged 10 years during COVID, and then there are people that gained 2 years. That's the kind of the way I look at it. Like, and he might be one of those people. We'll see. I think this season's going to tell us exactly where he stood when it comes to whether or not he gained years from COVID or if he lost 10.
Yeah, 100%. All right, we'll see how it is. I'm probably gonna bet the shit out of him again. I did it last year, and I probably won't stop. What's the next one here? Oh, Sydney, sweetie.
Married man, hold on. Married man, hold on. Let me.
Okay, put him on. AB had to be on this, but you can't. Like, you go to his. We don't need to donate brains to science as far as like CTE goes. You just scroll. You just scroll his page, and you can see it for yourself. He said, I don't even, am I allowed to say this online? Like, I hope kids aren't. What that throat, like the.
We know what he said. We know what he said.
So, yeah. I mean, he has.
Someone's running that account.
Someone is running it, right?
He's not running that account. He's not fast enough to be on top of all these things. There's no chance.
There seems to be like a switch very recently where I can tell he got like some type of, I'm not going to call them a media manager, because if that's the title, like, please find something else to call yourself.
Someone is 100% running that account. I do this for a living. Like that's literally what I do right now.
Yeah.
And I know that the speed he's doing it, the fact that he's had no like really grammar mistakes, and it's just the fact that it's so timely, there's no chance he's using that. No.
Guess what?
What just happened?
Guess who retired? Not shocking at all.
Well, Darren Waller. Yeah.
He
didn't want to come back.
Yes. Listen,
I
mean this in the most respectful way. I truly do. I mean it in the most respectful way. I think that athletes should have, obviously, hobbies. We all have hobbies, right? I'm done with rappers. I'm going to be completely honest. It just isn't working anymore. Like the Kadarius Toney, now Waller, like, I mean, what at that point, kind of a waste. But I don't think that's Shane's fault, though.
Listen, Waller, the way I look at him is like when we traded for him, I was like, again, this is the Giants thinking that they're going to compete. There's no point in bringing him in. There was no point in bringing him in. Yeah. Like that's like your one player away move. Not we had a phantom of a season that no one with a brain bought, because I sure as hell didn't buy. Right? Yeah. Like so, but yeah, whatever. Right. We don't need him. What's he supposed to do? He's old. He can't get on the field. What do we need him for? We're not. That's goodbye.
Well, we were gonna get 6 games out of him max, right? Like, can we be honest? That's what was gonna happen.
I'd rather get it to someone else. Maybe you strike lightning with someone.
And honestly, once you're a fan of a team that's been shitty for, like, I'm kind of numb to this stuff. Like, you could tell me that Dexter Lawrence is retiring, and like I will definitely cry myself to sleep, but I'll be over it in probably like 2 hours because of how painful the last 10 years have been. 15.
Do you mind if I ask you something in like your own segment, real quick?
Yeah, sure.
I'm gonna call it "What the F Steph" tweet of
fucking A. Ryan, why didn't we think of that?
Oh, what the F Steph? Well, I'm literally the greatest of all time.
All right.
So from 1:27 a.m. to 3:06 a.m., you went on an absolute tweet tear. I want to know why you were up at this hour and what is happening with these tweets. You're talking about vice principals here. You were talking about let's see.
My sworn enemy list. I had
quarter versus Philip Britta. That was at like 1:54. Second, I see a running back prospect fumble a ball. I'm throwing tomatoes on my TV. What's happening here, Steph? Talk to me. What's going on at the wee hours of the morning? This is my time. This is like my son gets up. I got to go give him a bottle time. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, are you not entertained? Is that who says that? Yeah, it's entertaining. No, because you can't get a goddamn word in during the fucking day. And then finally, like, I think this week finally hit me, and I was like able to digest everything. And I had a few cocktails, obviously. And it was Thursday. We were celebrating a 60th birthday, but things needed to be said.
My favorite one was the last one, because you capitalize. You're still like, no, you're still a week awake, and I was like, yep, I am, Steph.
Yeah, and you know what I did, and thank you for the great segue into. I drunk DM'd a player on our team last night.
That's good.
To the point where I deleted it because I was embarrassed, so I only have the response. So I messaged.
I mean, at least it was a good one.
Yeah, love him, huge fan. Go look at the recent likes that he has done on his Twitter. This guy's gonna be. I bet he's a Giant for life.
I messaged
him.
You need to charge your phone. Your phone was
Yeah, I know. It's been like, I bet it's at, let's see what we got here. 25%. Pretty good for me. I asked him if he could autograph a jersey for me, and I sent like this emoji. What am I doing? It's so weird. He's like a child. What are we doing? But he responded.
Well, there you go. So it wasn't a bad. Then it wasn't a bad move. If they respond, it's not a bad move. If you're left hanging out there, you probably made a fool of yourself.
This is what I mean when I say I identify as 25. It's like I haven't deleted a drunk message, and it wasn't even anything bad. That's how much this team has me fucked up.
Yeah. Well,
not good.
For the Giants will do it. That
All right, start wrapping up here. Drew Lock. Do we want to talk about this whole Drew Lock situation?
I'll just say I think it's funny. Listen, I want to be entertained this year. Everything else around the Giants, depending on what they do with the draft, who they're going to pick, is it going to be JJ? Are they going to go receiver, which I hope they do. I hope they go receiver with that 6th pick, because I don't think there's any rush on the quarterback. Don't rush the quarterback. Get a real guy in here, please. I hope they go receiver, but really, it's build the team everywhere else, and then we'll see about the quarterback when we get a chance to. But
so you do want a receiver?
Oh, I think yes. I think that's I think that's the play. Now, we said it earlier, we haven't had a receiver drafted.
Yeah.
You need weapons for these quarterbacks. They're not going to be good if you surround them with dog shit, and we don't have anything right now. You need a killer.
My thing is, you're not good enough to not take the best player available. And have we fucking learned nothing? The team is what? You want to ruin someone else's career? We've seen how it doesn't work out for these guys.
How many second round receivers do you need? You need a one. You need a one. And now, not Wan'Dale would be great, but he can't be the one. Wan'Dale Robinson's great. I love Wan'Dale Robinson. I think he's going to be a good player, but he's not the one. You need a one.
You need a true one, and we haven't had that in 10 years since OBJ. And I'm just tired. I'm tired of watching games, and you see these other teams. How many fucking touchdowns you get to see? We haven't seen. I don't even want to know the number. It has been a long time since you have seen offensive success. I think we saw last year that a decent backup quarterback, and unfortunately for everyone, I hate to say it, Daniel Jones is not dead, okay? And he's going to be playing behind the best O-line that he has played behind with probably the best weapons of his career. And it's probably going to piss people off because he's probably going to look better. Is he going to get hurt? Maybe. But there's a slight chance that he looks okay. They have to flirt with the injury. There's a lot of layers to this. But I don't know that rushing to trade up to get a McCarthy makes sense.
I don't know why anyone would think McCarthy would be better than Daniel Jones. To me, if you don't have a team that's ready to rock like the 49ers, don't bring a quarterback in here and just make him go through hell. And then also you had to compete with Daniel Jones in that circus. I'd rather just wait till Daniel Jones is out the picture, out, and then get someone in here with weapons.
Yeah, I'm with you. All right, let people know where they can find you. And I'll get you out of here. You got kids and stuff.
Got kids and stuff. Got work and stuff. You can find me at Nicky the Good on Twitter, on TikTok. Follow me there. I'm very active on Twitter. I love Twitter. I'm like one of the first to rise in the morning. If you're a morning person, follow me there. I also have a wrestling podcast at Me Pop Express every single Friday. We pop that out. And yeah, man, I'm around. I'm doing a lot. I'm trying to just pump that content out, and I appreciate anyone who follows along. And Steph, thanks once again for having me for the 3rd time. This was an absolute pleasure.
Yeah, you're the best. Hopefully we get that wide receiver one. I'll talk to you soon and get you on again soon.
Bye.
See ya. Another fun team, another fun guest. Kenny King Jr. Real Talk host. How's it going?
Doing good. How you doing?
I'm doing good. You guys are having a nice little free agency going on. Tell me about what? Yeah. Christian motherfucking Wilkins? I mean, God, is there a better fit?
I mean, we talk about it in Raider Nation a lot, that people are born to be a Raider. This kid was born to be a Raider. I mean, I've been watching highlights of just his trash talk, and it's one of the greatest things ever.
I'm not kidding. I'm so corny right now. I tried to pronounce it because I always say it. It comes out wrong. I have chills thinking about him and Max Crosby.
Yeah.
And then you also look at cry.
Oh yeah, and Max, or Malcolm Kuntz had a big rise in his career last year. Tyree Wilson, once they moved him inside, he started playing really well. You add one more piece to that defensive line. You got some dogs out there. I'm really excited about the defense.
Yeah, I am as well. I honestly be one of those. He is so badass and so easy to root for. Like, talk about players that are easy to root for. He is one of them. A little sad that you guys lost Josh Jacobs. I don't know your feelings on it. I'm a big Josh Jacobs fan. I think it's like a mutual, at least it wasn't to he didn't do a Saquon, which is nice.
Yeah. Well, and it's funny because I tweeted this out. All of the Raiders that went somewhere else, they went outside the division. Like they didn't go to the Chiefs, they didn't go to the Broncos, they didn't go to the Chargers. They said, no, we're going to get out of here. They gave respect. They go to the Giants, they go to the Packers. And so, it was sad to see Josh go. He wanted to be a Raider, I know. I think just the two couldn't come, or the two sides couldn't come to terms. It's unfortunate, but that's also the game. And it's and sometimes I hate to say you don't want to pay running backs, but you can't pay running backs that much.
Can't pay running backs that much, and it's kind of hard to pay safeties too. There's a lot of arguments for both of them. Raiders currently have AOC. They signed Gardner Minshew, who I like. I think we know what Gardner Minshew is and what you're getting out of him. I think Gardner Minshew can get you to the playoffs. I don't know if Gardner Minshew can ride you into the sunset, but I think he can get you there. Where are you at? You're sitting at the 13th pick. Right now, the odds are looking like they think you're going to take an O lineman and then quarterback after that. What are you thinking?
Yeah, so I'm hoping that the Raiders get aggressive. I'm hoping that AP kind of barges into the office and says, "Get me my guy," and the Raiders trade up and get Jaden Daniels. That's the hope. What is probably going to happen is they'll end up taking Michael Penix in the second round if he falls there, or Bo Nix, which is like the worst case scenario in my opinion. But my hope is that the Raiders move up, and so I haven't even been looking at 13 scenarios. I'm trying to speak it to existence that we're moving up in the draft.
Yeah. Justin Fields. Don't hate me. I just think a 6th round pick and just see what you got with Justin Fields. What do you think?
I'm not mad at that. I'm not mad at the idea of Justin Fields.
Yeah.
But I would still want to draft somebody. But you don't bring in a guy like Gardner Minshew to compete with Justin Fields, to compete with AOC, and then you draft a quarterback. And so those are, because Aiden did a decent job last year when he filled in. He didn't turn the ball over down the stretch.
Yeah.
The defense willed us to some wins. The biggest question mark is what they're going to do. And Justin Fields, if you bring him in, then like I said, you have that battle. I don't know if it will work.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting how that ends up playing out. If you don't get a Daniels, you don't get one of these top guys, which I think Daniels is the perfect fit. Honestly, at 13, do you feel like you're reaching for anyone else?
Yeah. Honestly, if I'm at 13, I'm moving back.
Yeah.
If you're 13, move back and get more picks. Because if you take somebody at 13, it's always going to be a reach. It doesn't matter who it is. It's going to be a reach, because now you're I'm grasping at straws. I mean, we saw it with DJ Hayden. We saw it, the only one pick that actually made sense, that worked, Raider fans didn't like it at the time, was Colton Miller. And in the past 20 years, he's the only Raider that was a first round pick that was signed to a second contract.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it sucks, but it is what it is. Bad drafting is bad drafting, and the Raiders have done a lot of it.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to tell me twice about that as a New York Giants fan. That's what I've been living with. Let's talk about some betting. We're going to do some smash or pass. I'll give you the bet. You tell me what you're thinking here. We were just talking about Jaden Daniels, so we'll stay on the topic. Smash or pass, Jaden Daniels drafted by the Commanders, -175. It's a pass for you, obviously, but is it realistic?
I honestly think that Kingsbury likes May a little bit more, and that's my That's my
Okay.
idea. I think that he would do better in that offense.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Washington right now favorite, and then New England. I don't know if I love that fit. I think you're kind of setting them up for an interesting situation. Minnesota after that, it starts to get. You have the same odds as Minnesota to get Daniels. Gonna throw a win total at you for the season. Carolina Panthers under 4.5 wins, -105.
I'm gonna smash.
Yeah.
I don't think the Panthers are there yet. And the South just got better. I mean, you got Kirk Cousins down there. Derek Carr is going to be in the second year. Hopefully he gets Hunter Renfrow. You know, the South has gotten better and Panthers haven't. So I'm gonna smash that one.
Yeah. I don't know why in my head. Well, I guess I didn't. If you were to put a gun to my head, I probably would have guessed like they won 3 or 4 games. They won 2 games last year.
Yeah.
Like you said, Kirk is now there. Atlanta really went all the way in. That owner is like, I'm going to try to get a motherfucking Super Bowl before I go the other direction. But, you know, I think they definitely made a point, and they did something that I wish the Giants actually tried to do when they brought on Daniel Jones. And a lot of teams make this mistake. The Jets did it with Wilson. They did it with Darnold. Is they did make a point to bulk up the O-line, which I think is good. I would rather them do that and then address the weapons type situation, which they also did. But they gave Robert Hunt the bag. They got Damian Lewis. Like, they made a point to be like, we need to protect this kid. Do I think that the Panthers can go on to win 5 games? I don't know about that. I think that Mayfield, Evans is back. Like, Tampa is in a good spot. And again, that offense, they've got Tommy Tremble and Ian Thomas as tight ends. And then their wide receivers, they just got Deontay Johnson. We'll see how that plays out. He gets frustrated easily. I don't know how that is going to go there. And then you got Mingo who flashed, and then Thielen, Thielen's good as hell last year, but he's creeping towards being on his way out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah, I know. I feel like there's something to say. I feel bad for Carolina Panthers fans at this point, but
how many are there?
That's the next point. I mean, and now they're raising ticket prices. I don't know about that. Okay, next one here. Let's go with smash or pass. The number 4 overall pick, JJ McCarthy, plus 550.
Pass.
It's
sexy.
Fall or go earlier?
I think he's gonna fall. I could see him falling. One of these guys. There's been a lot of talk. Every year you have somebody fall.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna fall. So as sexy as that pick is, no.
I know it's interesting because right now the favorite to go is Marvin Harrison Jr. And then I don't know here though. I mean, Drake May 35-1. The value on that is kind of attractive if he ends up being the one that maybe falls. Because at some point, I don't know that he gets past like 4 if he were to fall.
Well, and the other thing I was thinking is if quarterbacks start going early, like 1-2, teams are going to start getting desperate and they're going to start getting aggressive. And that's where you're going to see somebody just get swooped up. But if you have something crazy like we always do in the draft where Marvin Harrison goes first and then, somebody else goes second where it's not, a non-quarterback, teams are going to start, saying, oh, we can maneuver, we can do different things because they're able to get their picks.
Yeah, it should be a really fun draft. All right, another one here. You will like this one. Coach of the Year, Antonio Pierce, 22-1. Smash or pass?
I'm smashing that all day.
I adore him.
AP.
I think we've seen in the past. These first-time coaches, why do I have chills again? I'm so ridiculous. There's 13 coaches with shorter odds to win. He gets them to a playoff game. Listen, we got a conversation to have. I also like Raheem. I like Raheem 10-1 too. I think there's probably that might be Kirk's award a little bit more, but we see that happen too. And then honestly, Tomlin 28-1 is a little bit tempting, I will say.
Yeah, I think Tomlin's going to do some things. I I would like to see a resurgence out of Russ and hope that it wasn't Sean Payton, but it was actually, or that it wasn't him and it was Sean Payton. I would love to see a resurgence out of Russ, and I'm glad that he's, glad that he landed on his feet somewhere. But yeah, Tomlin at 28-1 is ridiculous.
Ridiculous.
Like that is, no.
Yeah, I don't know about that. All right, I got 3. This is crazy. Like I shouldn't be doing this degenerate, but they've already got regular season. They've already got these regular season stats out that we're gonna do. Brian Burns over 8.5 sacks minus 120. You can hurt my feelings. I know you're on my show.
No, I'm gonna smash that one. That one. Yeah, I think that he can get it. You guys got a solid D. Putting in there next with Kayvon, I think that'll be really good for him.
Yeah, I noticed this thing, and it comes with being part of, you're in New York and you have the New York media. Won't go on a tangent. I know I've been talking about the Giants a lot today. I apologize, but it just happened. It's crazy how last year, when the Rams, who we all view as like these masterminds and all the moves that they make, and everyone's always very impressed with them, when they were going to trade 2 firsts and a second for him, it was like the best thing you've ever seen ever. And now he's washed because he's going to the Giants. Give me a fucking break with that. I mean, what are we doing here? It's very biased. Kayvon had 11.5 last season, very quietly. Burns last season didn't go over the number, but he had 8, so just shy. And then his seasons before that, 12.5, 9, and then his rookie year, 7. So 7.5, my bad, Brian Burns. But I think the over is a nice look here.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah. All right. Your boy, Josh Jacobs, over 7.5 rushing TDs, minus 115.
Over.
Yeah, you think.
Over. I mean, Josh is a red zone machine. When Josh Jacobs is in the red zone, he's going to get a touchdown. I will put all my money on Josh.
Yeah. And I think that's partly why they brought Josh in, because they weren't getting what they needed out of both of their running backs. They had 4 combined rushing touchdowns. That's ridiculous for a back room like that. Jacobs had 6 last season. I think you see them really start to highlight running the ball again.
Yeah, and Josh would have had more last season had AP been there the whole time, not McDaniels in the beginning.
Yeah. All right, last one here. We talked about him. Smash or pass. Russell Wilson over 3,100 passing yards.
I know Russ gets yards, but they don't really throw in Pittsburgh.
I'm a little worried about Arthur Smith. I am tempted to take the under, but I don't think that means I feel like Russ isn't going to have a good season.
Right. Yeah. They don't throw, so that's, I'm pass.
Yeah. Any hot takes for the draft before I let you get out of here? People love to get hot takey this time of the year. What do you got for me? Anything hot takey?
I mean, my hot take is that the Raiders are going to move up to number 1 and select Jaden Daniels first overall. That's my hot take right there.
Good. I hope they do. Listen, I'm rooting for the Raiders. AP's my guy.
I look at it like this. If you have a potential to grab your franchise quarterback, if you have the person who that you want, get it at all costs. Because really, you've got everything else. You have a running back as Zamir White. You've got wide receivers in Devontae Adams and Jacoby Myers and Trey Tucker, who's emerging. You got Michael Mayer. You've got a solid offensive line. Defense is balls out. Like, go get your quarterback. Yeah. Go get your quarterback.
I think if you like a guy, I actually don't know that you can put a price on it. Too many times, there's so much volatility in the draft, so much volatility with these prospects. Someone could be a great prospect. They get into the league, you don't see shit from them. So if you like a guy, go fully in, head first, get your guy. I don't care what it costs.
Yeah. Go out there and get it. You want to trade for?
But don't
look, like I said before, the Raiders have had 1 retained first rounder.
It's gross.
So what does it matter? Like we had 2 first rounders that were gone in 1 year. One's in jail, the other one's on his way to jail. I
You
mean,
guys
so just
do a lot of jail guys going on over there.
yeah.
But
Hey, we're on the lower end
oh,
of the
AP
spectrum. The
doesn't
Niners,
listen. AP is gonna get that locker room. And you
exactly.
guys
AP don't play.
No, he don't play. And also,
He don't
people
play.
don't. Brady Graham doesn't get enough love. He is fantastic as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Let people know where they can find you. I'll have to get you back on closer to the draft. We'll see what's changed from then. Every day it feels like something crazy is going on. But where can people find you?
Check me out on all socials at Kenny King _Jr. You can check out my podcast, Real Talk, with the Blue Wire Network, and we are on every platform. You can find me everywhere. It's Real Talk with Kenny King Jr. Tap in. We talk a lot of Raider stuff, but we also talk other stuff. So if you're not a Raider fan, you'll still have fun.
Yeah. All right. You're the best. I will get you back on soon. Thank you
All
so
right.
much for coming on again.
Thanks for having me.
Appreciate you.
Hey,
Producer Ryan.
I'm
How's it going?
here. Oh, it's going great. It's going great. That was a great show.
Guess what? I didn't tell you something.
Oh, let's hear it.
Ready?
Is it,
Okay, I will.
did you drunkenly tweet at another player? Or?
No, I have been doing. Listen, I must be in the algorithm right now because people are finding my tweets that shouldn't be finding my tweets, which is never a good thing. But we are going to have 2 March Madness tournament contests, Survivor contests. I will post them after this. One $25 one, one $10 entry one. You win the whole thing. So we're going to do those on Splash Sports, and 3 max entries, super easy. You have up until the game to make picks, and it'll be fun.
Great. I can't wait to join.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. What's going on with your Cardinals?
What's that?
What's going on with their Cardinals? Are they they doing anything? Are they moving out? Are they
They went and got Desmond Ridder. I don't know what the hell's going on.
Can I be honest though? I actually wanted to say I haven't tweeted about it because I'm too busy tweeting things that don't matter. But I feel like that's not a bad trade. Desmond Ridder makes sense for Kyler as a backup.
Yeah, but I don't know what we're doing getting rid of receivers unless they just think they're going to get Marvin Harrison Jr.
Big ol' MHJ. That's what I think you're doing.
I guess that's what they're doing. I guess maybe they think that Greg Dortch can take a huge step up this year and compliment Marvin Harrison Jr. But
yeah, he's on the no bet list with a note that says even if he's the last receiver on earth. I bet he's a great guy, but absolutely not.
He's one of my dad. I don't know why he's one of my dad's favorite receivers. He roots for Dortch. So who
did
knows?
Dads come up with this? My dad will find a person I've never heard of and be like, "This is my favorite player." I'm like, "You don't know who that is? There's no way because I don't know who that is."
Dads have a lot of time on their hands, I guess. My dad's retired, so he spends a lot of time on this stuff.
A lot of time on the internet. Do we have any questions before we get out of here?
We definitely have some questions. First question up. This is from Degen Gritty. What's the best and worst case draft scenario for the Giants?
Worst case is they trade up and pick the bust of the draft. The best case scenario is they draft a wide receiver and then they go on to I'd like to see them, if they do one of these, not the top 4 guys, I'm not against them trying to throw some darts at some of these other guys if they feel like there's something there. I mean, we see guys all the time go in the second round. You see Brock Purdy, Mr. Irrelevant. I'm not against them putting someone else into, the QB room. I just really don't want to trade up and get a quarterback. I know people don't like that, but I'm not there. I want a wide receiver.
Best case, they stay where they are. They get Neighbors or they get Odunze.
I mean, best case scenario, MHJ falls because you and Chargers move out. That's best case. I don't think that's happening though.
Yeah, no, I've already got my order in for Marvin Harrison Jr. jersey, so
be careful. Be careful because then you end up with these guys.
Yeah. All right. This is from @Tay1_1000. If you could snuggle any 90s quarterback, which would you snuggle and why? Also, you're the
Snuggle?
big spoon. Yeah, snuggle.
I'm the big spoon. Me.
You're the big spoon.
My fucking name is Smalls. Like I don't. What do you mean? I don't know.
You could
That's
like
a good
snuggle
question.
you could snuggle his calf or something like that.
Oh my God. Okay, let me think here. Oh man, that's a hard one. You know what's funny is I was going to ask you who you would snuggle, but that makes it weird.
If I had to snuggle a 90s quarterback, it would be Jake Plummer. ASU grad, Cardinals. Also, he's super cool. He's into like weed now, so we could just like sit around and smoke and snuggle. I'd be into that.
Okay, I'm trying to think. I think I saw him from afar. I would snuggle the fuck out of Warren Moon. I'd snuggle the fuck out of him.
Good call. Good call. Snuggle the fuck out of Warren Moon.
You know what's funny is he was at Circa last time we were there, and someone kept saying like, "Oh, I know him. I can introduce you to him." I'm like, he's having a fucking drink. Like, I'm okay. Like, I don't need to meet Warren Moon. I saw him from across the room, and now I can tell people I want to snuggle him. Like, I feel like some people just want to be left alone.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe he wasn't ready for a snuggle time yet.
Yeah. Yeah. No.
All right. Final question from Joe Kappa 2 at Joe Kappa 2. Why is the multi-leg parlay so addicting when it is clearly not the best bet? LOL. Question mark, question mark, question mark. This was just like a big, you know, I felt this was a big ethical question. Maybe we could discuss it.
You know what, Ryan?
Why are they so addicting? Because I always fall, even though I know they're horrible, I always fall subject to it too.
One, because we're all greedy motherfuckers. Two, because you see people hit these big ones. So it's like, oh, but it could be me. But it could be me this time. It could be me. It could be me.
Why do people play the lottery? You play the lottery.
Really, the odds are there for a fucking reason. Like, there's a reason why they're so long. I think too, part of it is how you can build them, and like you add one more thing and it's like, holy shit, that's double the odds. All he needs is 2 3-pointers. No big deal. Like, that's 2 3-pointers, and then I can win $700 instead of $400. So I think it's we're all very like simple. We have addictive personalities, whether you like it or not.
Why the sports books make so much money?
God. Yeah. You know what? I'm due to do like a big part. See, look at now again, addiction. I had a Kevin Durant, Devin Booker, a fucking 3-pointer parlay last night. What was I doing? I think the combined they had 2. It was so stupid.
Yeah, not against the Celtics. Not the best bet.
No, yeah. I don't know. What was I thinking? It's ridiculous. God. We will be back Tuesday for golf, regular scheduled programming.
We're going to do it this Tuesday, right?
We are going to do it this Tuesday. And then I'll get the Survivor stuff up and we'll be rocking and rolling. If you're still listening, when you get off, go have an adult beverage or water, whatever your preference is. And be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review. All that really helps us out.
Absolutely. We'll see you on Tuesday.
Watch him make it, break it, break it, break it.